Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana.
Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana.
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj.
Jaya Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj.
Jaya Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj.
Jaya Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj.
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva.
Nitya Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gora Hari Bol.
Nitya Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gora Hari Bol.
Nitya Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gora Hari Bol.
Nitya Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gora Hari Bol.
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol.
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol.
Srila Vyasadeva ki jai.
Jai.
Guru Purnima Motsava ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Guru Maharaj ki
Jai.
Teacher Goswami Maharaj ki
Jai.
Guru Premanandi.
Hari Hari Bol.
So Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Many thanks for joining us today. A very auspicious day, and we seek your good wishes and your blessings so that we can together please the Supreme Lord and his devotees by making this little offering to him of today's satsang. And we want all of the transcendental benefits that come from this satsang to go to His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. So I'd like to first thank Karuna Panda for performing the aarti, to Srila Vyasdev and Dr. Rampal for singing beautifully Guru Puja. I haven't heard you sing Guru Puja for a very, very long time. Thank you very, very much. It's really, really nice. I just wanted to, because there's so many devotees who've just come on, I just wanted to mention what we're doing today. The plan is we will now speak about Srila Vyasdev, try to understand who he is, a glorious personality. After which we will talk about Sanatan Goswami. It is his disappearance day today, and a very important personality who we will speak somewhat about. And after that, we wanted to do aarti to Srila Prabhupada and read Guru Maharaj's offering to Srila Prabhupada. And following that, we will do aarti to both Guru Maharaj and also His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. And then that will be followed by a glorification of both their lives. And then we will follow up at the end with Nishinga Kavach and Nishinga prayers. So I'd like to thank again everybody for coming. And I wanted to call upon Madhu Mangal Prabhu. Let me just see if I can get this. Let me see if it's going. Okay, 1 second. Madhu Mangal Prabhu will take us through who is Lord Vyasadev. 1 second. No, it's not coming through. 1 second. Okay. So Madhu Mangal Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Navinandan Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for this opportunity to glorify Sri Vyasadev. I'm really indebted. I'd like to thank Srila Guru Maharaj and ask for the blessings of all the Vaishnavas and Guru Maharaj and His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj so that I may glorify Vyasadev most nicely. I just started with a small invocation before I begin. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pungham Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishvaraham Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimade Krishna Das Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Charu Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyati Deshutarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you very much once again for this opportunity. Today is the most auspicious day of Shri Vyasa Puja, Guru Purnima, and the holy appearance day of Srila Vyasadev. I thought it would only be fitting to speak a little bit about Vyasadev. Thank you to Navinandan Prabhu for coming up with such wonderful slides as well. So we thought we'll speak a little bit about the appearance of Lord Vyasadev, the different personalities who have been Vyasadev, why Shri Vyasadev wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, and yeah, we'll dive into that. So actually, Srila Vyasadev appeared in this world as the son of Parashara Muni and his wife Satyavati. And his prime objective or mission was actually that we had one Veda, but he wanted to divide that into branches and sub-branches, because the people of this age were actually less intelligent, and by splitting them up, it would be easier for people to follow. And we can see that as a symptom of Kali Yuga, that the intelligence has reduced, the lifespan has reduced. So Vyasadev split them up very systematically. Now, what is interesting when we look at Vyasadev is actually Vyasadev is not a personality, but is actually a position. If you could go to the next slide. So what we find with Srila Vyasadev actually is that he's actually a personality. He's a position and not a personality. And over the last previous yugas and ages, we've actually had 28 different Vyasadevs. And what we find with Vyasadev is that there is generally a Jiva Tattva, so an empowered personality. If we look here at the list, we see some really powerful personalities: Lord Brahma, Yamaraj. We have, who else do we have here? Brihaspati, so Indra. All these personalities have all been Vyasadev previously. But what's very interesting, if you look at number 8, we have Krishna Dwapayana Vyasa. Now, number 28, which was the last Dwapar Yuga, Krishna actually appeared as himself. He didn't send an empowered personality. Probably if you could go to the next slide. So he didn't actually come as an empowered personality. He came as himself, So he came as Krishna Dwapayani Vyasa, and he was actually a Vishnu Tattva. So we're very fortunate in that in this age that we are in, the previous Yuga, Krishna came himself. We see in Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya came in this Kali Yuga. He doesn't come in every Kali Yuga. So we're indeed fortunate to have heard from Vyasadeva. Now, what we also find is that, sorry, could you go to the next slide? Thank you. Right. So yeah, this was an exemption from the general rule. We saw that Vyasadeva came, Krishna came as himself as Vyasadeva. And we see confirmation of this in Shastra. So the Laghu Bhagavatamrita by Sri Rupa Goswami has this stated in there. Sri Baladev Vidya Bhushan gave commentary on the Laghu Bhagavatamrita. So again, it is stated in there. And the Sri Tattva Sandarbha by Sri Jiva Goswami also has it stated in there. So this is confirmed in Shastra. We also know who the next Vyasadeva will be, and he will be Ashwatthama, the son of Dronacharya. So these are all especially powered personalities that normally take up the position of Vyasadeva. Right, now why did Srimad, so we want to know a little bit about Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva then took the Vedas and split them up into the 4 different Vedas, but he was not satisfied writing the Vedas, and we want to dig into why he was not satisfied. There are a few reasons for this. So the Vedas, as we know them, they sort of have descriptions of the temporary universe, prayers to the demigods, they tell you about karma, how to attain necessities. We have, medicine, a whole range of subject matters. Yoga, the process of attaining spiritual realization. It has some descriptions of Krishna, some descriptions of the Supreme Lord, but the detailed descriptions of his form, his qualities, Krishna's pastimes are not there, And those are the things that devotees tend to earn for. They want to listen to, they want to really dive into the nectar. So that wasn't there. And then also, probably if you go to the next slide for me, please. So even though Vyasadeva had worked so hard for the welfare of everyone by writing these Vedic scriptures, he felt dissatisfied and incomplete. He thought the work was incomplete. And for him, it really, really impacted him. So what did he do? Vyasadeva approached his spiritual master, Narad Muni, and he explained the situation to him, that he was not satisfied having written all this literature. And he was advised by his Guru Maharaj, Sri Narad Muni, to actually write Srimad Bhagavatam. And that Srimad Bhagavatam would contain all the names, forms, qualities, pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And this is why Srila Vyasadeva then embarked on writing the Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? And we can see this is why the role of the spiritual master is so important. I mean, Krishna came himself as a literary incarnation in the form of Vyasadeva, but he himself was perplexed and went to his spiritual master. So Krishna is setting the example for us as well. So what did we find then? Vyasadeva, he had the 4 Vedas, the Rig, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva Veda. He wrote the Vedanta Sutras, the Mahabharata, and then the Puranas. And then the Bhagavad Purana, which is the Srimad Bhagavatam, is considered the most important of his writings. And we see this glorified within Srimad Bhagavatam, where Srimad Bhagavatam speaks about itself, the Bhagavatam. And it says that the Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun and has risen just at the departure of Lord Krishna, at the end of Dwapara Yuga, the start of Kali Yuga. And persons who have lost their vision due to the darkness of this age of Kali can get light from this Purana. Srimad Bhagavatam is the most ripened fruit of the tree of Vedic knowledge, consisting of the highest realizations and understanding of ultimate reality, the absolute truth, as presented by Vyasadeva himself. It is also considered the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it is the literally incarnation of Sri Krishna. So we can see how important Srimad Bhagavatam is. And Guru Maharaj also emphasized the importance of reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So today is the most auspicious appearance of Srila Vyasadeva, Guru Purnima, and we can take this opportunity to remember, to worship Srila Vyasadeva, to appreciate and take gratitude. It also got me thinking of a little story of one interaction I had with Guru Maharaj on Vyasa Puja. I mentioned that actually Vyasadeva is a position, right? And different personalities take on this position. So This was in 2013. We had a Vyas Puja with Guru Maharaj in South London. And I took my offering, I started reciting my offering, and I said, you know, I wished Guru Maharaj a very happy 81st Vyas Puja, and then went on to say my offering. At the end of my offering, he accepted my humble obeisances and then called me close, right? So I realized, you know, Guru Maharaj wants to share something with me. So I listened to him, and Guru Maharaj said to me, it is not my 81st Vyasa Puja. Okay. So I was a little bit perplexed, and then he said, Vyasa Puja starts from the time that one becomes an initiating spiritual master.
Right.
So Guru Maharaj was very conscious. He wasn't taking credit for the fact that by the fact that he was appeared on this planet, he was automatically celebrating his Vyasa Puja, become a guru. He wanted to clarify the fact, because generally we take, you know, from the point of appearance to the Vyasa Puja date as the period of Vyasa Puja. But Guru Maharaj wanted to correct that it's not 81 years of Vyasa Puja, but from the point of view of accepting. So Guru Maharaj was very conscious that he was representing a position and not, you know, just falsely taking ownership of that. So I wanted to share that with you all today. So all glories to Srila Vyasadeva, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj, all glories to Srila Bhakti Charu Swami, all glories to Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
And all glories to Madhu Mangal Prabhu. Very nice. That's a really nice realization of what you shared at the end. I hadn't realized that either. So that's thank you for sharing that. And just looking behind you, the beautiful picture there, and you have a deity of Tulsi Mahani, is it?
Yes, that's correct. That is Vrinda Devi Tulsi Maharani.
Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Maybe you can later on give us the version of Krishna Balaram.
Okay, sure.
Nice. So thank you very much. So just to let you know, tomorrow we are going to be observing Guru Maharaj's disappearance day. He disappeared in 2016, went back to the spiritual world on the day after Guru Purnima. So tomorrow is the occasion of his disappearance, and we will be observing that and having this Zoom conference at UK time is 5 o'clock and in the afternoon. So please do join us. And then next Sunday, we will have the Vyas Puja, where devotees can all read your offerings. It'd be very nice to hear everybody. And whoever's not in this call, if perhaps you could take responsibility and maybe share this with one or two of those devotees who are not on the call, let them also know what we're planning to do and let them join and also read their offering. That'd be very nice. So now we'd like to talk about Sanatan Goswami. And Uddhavji, you are there?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm here.
Great. So I'll bring it up on the screen. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you.
So today is the disappearance day of Sanatan Goswami. Very auspicious day, actually. Let me just see if we can bring this up. Okay, Uddhav Prabhu.
Srila Sanatan Goswami ki jai. Srila Sanatan Goswami appeared in 1488 and was the eldest of three brothers coming in a Yajurvediya, Bharadwaj, Gotriya, Saraswat Brahmin family. Sri Rupa was the middle brother and Sri Anupam was the youngest. Their father, Kumar Dev, resided in Fatehabad, an area on the outskirts of Bakla Chandradweep in East Bengal, Bangladesh. Sri Sanatan Goswami's childhood name was Amar, Sri Rupa Goswami's name was Santosha, and Sri Anupama's name was Vallabha. After the Muslim ruler of Bengal, Nawab Hussain Shah Badshah, recruited Amara and Santosha, the three brothers moved from Bakla Chandradweep to Ramkeli in the Maldaha district of Bengal. Sanatan Goswami's name was changed from Amara to Sakara, Malika, and Rupa Goswami's name was changed from Santosha to Dabir Khas. In due course, Sanatan Goswami became the chief minister and Rupa Goswami the state treasurer of Nawab Hussain Shah. Being satisfied with their administration, he handed over all state affairs to them and busied himself in conquering neighboring kingdoms. Rupa and Sanatan based themselves in Ramkeli and did all state management from there. It is during their time in Ramkeli Gram that Rupa and Sanatan met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Previously, from early childhood, Sanatan and his two brothers, Rupa and Anupam, were always absorbed in Bhava Bhakti. Remembering Vrindavan, they named the forests in which they played after Vraja's 12 forests, Talavan, Madhuvan, Kamyavan, Mahavan, etc. They called their favorite bathing ponds Radhakund and Shamkund. In a temple, they served the deity Sri Madhav Mohana. In his youth, Sri Sanatan dreamed that a beautiful Brahmin boy gave him a Srimad Bhagavatam. Feeling ecstatic, he awoke. But seeing neither the boy nor the Bhagavatam, he felt sad. When Sanatan began his puja that morning, however, Krishna himself, disguised as a beautiful Brahmin boy, came and said, "Take the Srimad Bhagavatam from me. Always study it and you will attain perfection." Roop and Sanatan regretted their service to the Muslim king. Their father continually performed atonements for the disgrace of serving the Muslims. They lamented their own position, considering themselves no better than Muslims because of the work they did and the association they kept with them. They felt themselves worthless as they served the king of the Yavanas instead of the king of their own race. In the depths of their humble lamentation, they considered themselves inferior to the Yavanas. Though they were descendants of a Brahmana king, they did not think of themselves as Brahmanas. Only Sri Krishna Chaitanya was able to understand the change that transpired in the minds of Roop and Sanatan. Out of divine love for his dear devotees, Gaur Chandra went to Ramkeli to meet Roop and Sanatan. The people of Ramkeli, even the Yavanas, went together to see Mahaprabhu. The happiness of Rupa and Sanatan was unbounded. They went privately to Mahaprabhu and fell at his feet. Holding grass in their teeth, the two brothers approached Mahaprabhu with such humility that the assembled devotees felt pangs of sorrow in their heart. Although Roop and Sanatan belonged to a respectable Brahmin family and possessed enormous powers, they exhibited such humility in considering themselves inferior to Muslims that the Brahmanas and others were truly astonished. When meeting Sanatan Goswami, Mahaprabhu told him to go to Vrindavan and write scriptures that delineate Bhakti Sambandh Tattva, relationship with Vaishnavas, and the proper etiquette to be followed by Vaishnavas. Manifest the pastime places of Raja that had become lost, along with the deities of Raja, and to write what is favorable and unfavorable for Bhakti and about Vaishnav etiquette. So this Lord Chaitanya's order was their life and soul. So Nami Prabhu, you can please correct me if I'm wrong. That picture seems to be a picture of Sanatan Goswami paying obeisances to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Is that correct?
Yes, Prabhu, that's correct. This is a beautiful painting, and this is how their humility was such amazing humility. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to tell both of them, Sanatan and Rupa, "Don't be so humble, you're breaking my heart." So this is Sanatan Goswami taking shelter of the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So Lord Chaitanya's order was their life and soul. Both Sanatan and Rupa Goswamis travelled extensively through Vraj Mandal, discovering many Leela sthans of Radha Madhav. Having no fixed residence, they would catch a few winks of sleep, no more than 1.5 hours per day, under a tree or bush. They spent all their time writing, discussing Krishna's pastimes, and chanting Krishna's holy names. To maintain himself, Sanatan would beg some wheat flour, roll into a ball by adding a touch of Yamuna water, and drop it in smoldering coals to cook. He would offer this bati, a salt-free baked bread ball, to his deity of Madan Mohan. Giving up all kinds of material enjoyment, the Goswamis accepted the poorest way of life as mendicants. They ate just enough to maintain their bodies. The Radha Madan Mohan Mandir, established by Sanatan Goswami, was the first one opened in Vrindavan by the 6 Goswamis. Described as the personal extension of the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Sanatan is the ideal spiritual master because he gives one shelter at the lotus feet of Madan Mohan. The 3 Vrindavan deities, Madan Mohan, Govindji, and Gopinath, are the life and soul of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. The deity of Madan Mohan has the specific quality of helping the neophyte devotees understand their eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna.
This is the beautiful deity of Radha Govindji in actually in Jaipur, because they were taken from Vrindavan to Jaipur when the Mughals came to destroy the temples in Vrindavan. But the kings in Rajasthan were very strong, so they could protect the deities. But also they have installed, of course, centuries ago, Radha Govindji in Vrindavan. But this was originally installed by Rupa Goswami. And then this is Radha Gopinath, very, very beautiful. Again, moved to Karoli in Rajasthan. And this is Radha Madan Mohan, again moved to, maybe that's moved to Karoli actually.
Yeah, Radha Madan Mohan is in Karoli, Radha Gopinath is in Jaipur.
Ah, thank you very much, Madan Mohan. Very good. Have you had version of Radha Madan Mohan in Karoli?
I haven't.
I have.
But,
I have.
Went.
Atma, very good. Very good. Thank you, Atma.
They're very beautiful. They're extraordinarily beautiful.
Very good. Right. And the worship is high standard, huh?
Yes, it is.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Madan Mohan means Krishna who is so indescribably beautiful that he even attracts Cupid, Kamdev. Sanatan Goswami is the Sambandh Acharya who gives us knowledge of our proper relationship with Krishna, and his deity Madan Mohan helps us overcome our attraction for material sense gratification, Cupid, and fix our minds on devotional service. Sri Sanatan Goswami spent 43 years wandering from village to village in Vrindavan. The Vrajvasis would affectionately care for him, treating him like their father. With patience and concern, he listened to their problems. Then he would please all the villagers by his preaching and practical advice on everything from increasing crop yields to solving family quarrels. Renouncing all worldly pleasures, Sanatan Goswami was humble, detached, always absorbed in study. Mahaprabhu often said that Sanatan Goswami was his favorite devotee. As an ocean of love and mercy, Sanatan excelled all other devotees in his compassion toward the suffering souls. Bhakti Ratnakar.
This is the scripture. This is the scripture that comes from. And this is Sanatan and Rupa Goswami. They were always writing about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna. And such humility, they used to live so simply. They were the richest men in the world because they were chief minister and treasurer of the kingdom of the Muslim ruler. But very humble. Please carry on.
Renouncing all worldly pleasures, Sanatan Goswami was humble, detached, always absorbed in study. Mahaprabhu often said that Sanatan Goswami was his favorite devotee. As an ocean of love and mercy, Sanatan excelled all other devotees in his compassion toward the suffering souls, as mentioned in Bhakti Ratnakar. In his last years, he left his beloved deity of Madan Mohan with Krishna Das Brahmachari, his disciple. He did bhajan on the banks of Manasi Ganga next to Chakleshwar Mahadev at Govardhan. Daily he walked the 24-mile parikrama, the original longer route of Govardhan Hill. Although he was 65 years old, he kept his daily vow of offering 1008 obeisances to Govardhan Hill and to any Vaishnava whom he met. Understanding the difficulty of his pure devotee, Sri Madan Mohan appeared one day and said, "Baba, you are too old. Don't take so much trouble to walk around Govardhan Hill every day." Sanatan replied, "This is one of the daily activities of my bhajan. I must maintain it." "Since you are old," said Madan Mohan, "you may now give up this vow." Starting to walk again, Sanatan replied, "I will never give up my religious principles." Sanatan Goswami's firm determination to complete his daily devotional vow pleased Sri Madan Mohan. But in the loving dealings between the Lord and his pure devotee, Krishna's desire to please his devotee often defeats the devotee's desire to please him. So out of loving compassion for his devotee, Sri Krishna stood on a large flat stone, Govardhan Shila, taken from Giriraj. He played his irresistible flute. The Govardhan Shila melted in ecstasy, capturing the impression of Krishna's lotus feet. Presenting this to Sanatan, Krishna said, "If you circumambulate the Shila every day, it will be the same as going around Govardhan Hill every day. You will keep your vow intact and not compromise your religious principles." Seeing that Giriraj himself, Sri Krishna, had given the Shila, Sanatan Goswami gratefully accepted. One can still see that Govardhan Shila in the Radha Damodar temple.
And this is it. See, this is the Shila, and the Goswamis are very kind in that temple. They give darshan of the Shila all the time. You can see the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord here, Krishna's lotus feet. And this is Gomukh, the lotus feet of Gaumata, and somewhere there's a flute as well. And when we go to Radha Damodar temple, we walk around the altar, the shrine, 4 times, or 7 times, can't remember. And that is like you have walked Golden Hill, 24 kilometers. Please carry on.
Sanatan Goswami made a significant literary contribution to the Gaudiya Sampradaya with his Hari Bhakti Vilas, Brihad Bhagavatamrita, and Brihad Vaishnav Toshani. In the form of Labanga Manjari, Sanatan Goswami serves Srimati Vishakha Sakhi in Radha Madhav's Nitya Nikunj Leela. Srila Sanatan Goswami Samadhi is behind Radha Madan Mohan's temple.
So this is his Samadhi at the Radha Madan Mohan temple. That's it.
Srila Sanatan Goswami ki jai.
Thank you very much. So today we observed the pastime of Srila Sanatan Goswami's disappearance. And there's one really nice pastime which we can share, which when he was offering the boga to Madan Mohan, the dry chapati, Madan Mohan would sometimes say to him, "Just give me a little salt. At least I'll be able to digest this, what you're giving me." And Sanatan Goswami, this is the relationship one has with the deity when you are a self-realized soul. He said to the deity, "No, I'm not going to do that. Please accept what I'm offering you and be pleased." And he said, "The reason I'm doing that, I'm not going to offer you salt, is because if I offer you salt today, tomorrow you're going to ask me for ghee. And the day after, you're going to ask me for sabji. And the day after, you're going to ask me for sweet rice. But I haven't got time because I have to write all these books for the wonderful Jiva souls who want to be reunited with you. So this is one of the most powerful Goswamis, one of the favorite devotees of Lord Chaitanya. And we'd like to seek his blessings today so that we can also advance and get this sambandha with the Supreme Lord, get this relationship going with the Supreme Lord. So thank you very much. Oh, so Uddhav, you've got Nand, Chitnandan. Do you want to talk about that now? Or
Yes, Prabhuji.
because he's on the line, right?
Yeah, we can do later also if that is how you had planned it.
It's quite flexible, yeah. How long do you think it will take?
Maybe 10-15 minutes.
Okay, I think let's do that. So wanted to share with devotees that some of our younger god brothers and god sisters have been working very hard over the last few months, and Uddhav has taken on this wonderful project, which I wanted him to share with all the devotees.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we were trying, I was trying to come up with a website since past many years, but I could not even start it. It did not even start. It only started when I contacted other devotees and I asked for their help, and we built a team of devotees to start building the website. So I would like to give credit and thank all the devotees who have helped. Uma Mataji from Michigan, Dharmraj Prabhu from Durban, and Chitnandan Prabhu, who is a disciple of His Holiness Romapad Swami. We work with his company, Kritan Technologies. They are our website developers. And also I would like to thank Nabhi Prabhu for his constant guidance, encouragement, and support. And also Vasudev Prabhu and Madhumangal Prabhu. And yes, also Atmadarshini Mataji. She also helped a lot, and she helped in editing some of the lectures. So we'll talk about the details maybe later as we go through the website. Chitnandan Prabhu, are you online? Are you ready to launch the website?
Well, I think you should do the honor. The website is there. You can show the website if you want to the devotees.
Okay, so I should share my screen then.
Yeah, I just want to please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So there are so many wonderful Vaishnavas on the call, and I beg for their blessings that if they are pleased by this effort, then please bless me that I can do some little service to Srila Prabhupada in his mission. Thank you.
See you, please. Is that possible?
What did you say, Prabhu? Sorry.
Darshan of
He wants video. I don't think the light is good here, but let me try. Maybe.
Very good. Very good. There you go. There you go.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, you're only 21. Really? We always joke that we're 21 when we're not. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna. So can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Jai Shila Guru Maharaj ki Jai.
Very cool.
That's an approval.
So this is the home page, and the idea of having a home page like this was Uma Mataji's idea. And I was thinking something else earlier, but this is the way she thought about it. She visualized it, and it looks very nice. And Dharmraj Prabhu helped us with editing this whole picture and making it look so beautiful. So in the background, you can see Mother Ganga, which was very, very, very dear to Guru Maharaj. And here Guru Maharaj is sitting and meditating as he used to do after taking his bath at the banks of Mother Ganga. I've personally seen that at Har Ki Pauri, Guru Maharaj would be so happy to go there, take bath, and then later sit there and chant his Gayatri. So this picture is not Har Ki Pauri, but it is very much River Ganga in the background. So we have some keywords here to describe who Guru Maharaj was. As people land on the website, they'll see he was a teacher, a guru. He was a spiritual revolutionary, a missionary of Sanatan Dharma, a very staunch and strict follower of the Vedas, and a loving servant of Krishna. And then if we click here, we'll read about Guru Maharaj's journey, his life journey, a brief life journey, where he was born and what was his journey from being a school headmaster in a village in Punjab to becoming an international preacher and spiritual leader and guru. So if I click here, that brings us to the autobiography page, which devotees can go and read. It talks about Guru Maharaj's childhood, diksha, education, how he came to the West, how he met Srila Prabhupada, and then how eventually he took sannyas and was appointed as guru by the GBC. And after that, what were his activities, where all did he preach, what all did he do. We have tried to touch upon everything. We have a plan, a long-term plan of coming up with a book. And once that happens, hopefully we'll have that whole book also on the website. But this is just a brief summary of Guru Maharaj's life. And then if we click here, this brings us to the beautiful article that Nikunja Vilasini Mataji had written when Guru Maharaj had left his body a few years back in 2016. So Mataji is a disciple of His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj, and Giriraj Maharaj also helped in proofreading and approving this article. So we would like to thank Mataji, Giriraj Maharaj, and all the devotees who helped to come up with this article. So I'll not go through the whole article, obviously, but this is there for everyone to read as and when they want.
The BTG.
In fact, later on, Madhu Sudan Prabhu will be reading this article, I think, probably.
Oh, Jai.
I think so, anyway, more or less.
Okay. So, yeah, so let me go back to the home page. So on the home page, if you scroll down, then there's a quotes section where you can see a beautiful quote from Guru Maharaj. And then if we click here, this will take us to a page where there are a lot of other quotes. And then scrolling further down brings us to the photos section, and we can see a photo of Guru Maharaj with Srila Prabhupada and other ISKCON sannyasis, and Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, Nelson Mandela, George Harrison, Mukunda Goswami. There are a lot more pictures. If we click here, we'll go to the gallery page. And Uma Mataji has done a fantastic job of collecting all the pictures and categorizing them. And basically, there are so many hidden pictures there which I had never seen. And I'm sure devotees will find a lot of pictures which they had never seen, because these are pictures from all over the world. So some devotees may have seen some pictures, but I doubt that one devotee would have seen all the pictures. I highly doubt that. And we'll be adding more. So if devotees have more pictures that they have, which they see are not on the website, please share them with us. We'll keep on adding content. Here are some videos. The first video is the one which Vasudev Prabhu from UK and his team of devotees had come up with. This is a beautiful video where Guru Maharaj, it's like a question answer session where Guru Maharaj is answering various spiritual questions that the devotees have asked. And there are a lot of other videos. And as I said, we will be adding more videos. A team of devotees in South Africa is working on it, and another team of devotees in UK is also working in parallel. So I look forward to adding a lot of content on the website in the future, hopefully near future. We don't want to wait for too long because these things do take time, but I understand that there are a lot of disciples of Guru Maharaj who are very old and may just leave their body if we are too slow in coming up with content. So I'll try my best to come up with the content as soon as possible, but I would depend on all you devotees to help with that. And now this is the audio section, and we have some audios of Guru Maharaj which we can play. And after every section there is a button. If you click on that button, it would take us to the page which has all the audios, videos, or photos depending upon which section we are on. So this is the audio section. We have some 8-9 audios here, and we intend to add more. There is also a section for Prabhupada bhajans. If we click here, we have all the beautiful bhajans sung by Prabhupada. They are in Prabhupada's voice, and they're all in one place. So we don't need to go anywhere to search for them. Whenever we feel like hearing Srila Prabhupada sing, we can come here. And they're all very nice. I again thank Chitnandan Prabhu. He was just putting up these as test, something to test the website with when we did not have actual audios of Guru Maharaj. But they were so nice, it occurred to me that we should just not use them to test, but have them on the website forever. And now this is the contact page where on behalf of all the disciples of Srila Krishnadas Swami, we welcome anyone who comes on this website, and we invite them to share more content and collaborate with us to make this website better every day.
Good.
And at the bottom, there is a social media feed. Again, this was a brilliant idea of Uma Mataji, where we can see. So right now, this is not showing the latest posts, and we need to fix that. There are multiple things. So actually, this website is not complete. There are a lot of things that we need to fix, and there are a lot of things that we need to add. But since it was an auspicious day and we were all getting together, we thought this would be a good time to launch it. And when we launch it, more and more devotees see it. I am hoping more devotees will be inspired to share more content with us, which will make the website better. So I think that's all, Prabhuji, for now.
Thank you. Because even tomorrow and next Sunday, maybe you can share some other aspects of the website which you haven't today, so that devotees become aware of what is available there, and they can get to use it.
Sure, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Uddhav, and well done. Congratulations for hard work.
Thank you, and thank you to everyone who contributed. As I started, contributions.
Could I suggest another project for you, Prabhu? Yesterday, I was actually just Googling Maharaj's name, like Bhakti Chora Maharaj's name, and there's a whole lot of data on Wikipedia, but nothing about Guru Maharaj. So maybe that's another project. You can have Guru Maharaj's history and biography on Wikipedia.
Sure, Mataji. I was thinking about it many years ago, and I even started looking into it, how to create an article on Wikipedia. I couldn't exactly figure out, and then I left it, forgot about it. But yes, thank you for reminding. We will come up with that also.
Thank you.
And just to let everybody know, this is Uma Devi, and she's done amazing, amazing work to catalogue Guru Maharaj's pictures. And I really apologize. Some of the quality of pictures that we sent you were not so good, and sorry about that. But thank you for doing such a wonderful job. Huh? And this, just to let everybody know, we never see Atma, but we finally got her. Come on, quick. This is Atma Devi, Atma Darshini. Ah, finally, brilliant. You're always normally shy. So thank you very much, Atma. She's the best, the world's greatest kirtanier, as far as I am concerned. So now we wanted to do Prabhupada's Aarti. And maybe I think you should lead that, Samsara Dava, if you don't mind. Would you like to lead Samsara Dava? Okay. So, Chitra Manjari, you ready? Or is it Karuna?
Yeah.
Is it Karuna or Chitra? Who's doing art?
Yes, Prabhu, we are ready.
Okay. So, let me just... Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Savior of the whole world Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The greatest revolutionary spiritual leader of the world Srila Prabhupada ki jai. 30th Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Goswami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So you can
So, Prabhu, are you talking to me?
Yeah, you can start.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Thank you. Samsara dava nalilitha lokha pranaya karunya ganaganatvam samsara dava nalilitha lokha pranaya karunya ganaganatvam praptasya kalyana gunarnavasya vande guru shri charanarvindam
praptasya karyana gunanavasya vande guru
Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vaditya Madhya Manasura Sena
Mahaprabhu ki Ranyanitya Gita Vaditya Majan Manasora Sena
Romanchakam Pashu Taranga Bacha Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Romakam Pashu Darangavajo Vande Guru Sihi Charanarvindam
Shri Vigraha Radhana Nityananda Shringara Mandir Marjanada
Vigrahara Danadityanana Singatan Mandiramajanado
Yuktasya Bhaktan Chaniyanjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Yuktaspakam Syaha Injatopi Vande Guru Sihi Charanarvindam
Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasada Swadvana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sanghan
Bhagavat Prasad
Vitvaiva Triptin Bhajata Sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Ritveva triptahan bhajasata deva Vande Guru Sihi Charanara Vrindam.
Shri Radhika Madhav Yorapara Madhurya Leela Gunarupanamna.
Shri Radhika Madhavayora Para Madhuya Lila Gunarupanam.
Pratikshana Swadanalolupasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Pratishana Saha Lolupasya Vande Guru Sihi Charanara Vrindam.
Nikunjayuna Ratikeli Sethya Yayali Viryutirapekshaniya.
Nikunjayu no Ratikeli Sedai Yaya Yoge Yukte Apekshaniya.
Tatra te daksha dativalabhasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Tato Vidaka Tatibalabhasya Vande Guru Sihi Charanara Vrindam.
Sakshat Harittvena Samasta Shastre Uktastatha Bhavyataiva Sadhi.
Sakshat Devena Shamasta Shaste Uktastata Bhavyataiva Shadave.
Kintu Prabho Yaha Priya eva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Kintu Prabhu Yaha Priya eva Tasya Vande Guru Sihi Charanara Vrindam.
Yasya prasadat Bhagavat prasada Yasya prasadat Nagati kutopi.
Yasya Prasada Bhagavat Prasado Yasya Prasada Nagati Katopi.
Jaya Suvam Sasya Yashati Sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Jayatu Swam Tasya Yasya Sri Sandam Vande Guru Sihi Charanara Vrindam.
Jaya Suvam Sasya Yashati Sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Jayatu Swam Tasya Yasya Sri Sandam Vande Guru Sihi Charanara Vrindam.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Vande Guru Sihi Charanara Vrindam. Vande Guru Sihi Charanara Vrindam.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Vande Guru Sri Charanaravrindam. Vande Guru Sri Charanaravrindam.
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Vyasadeva Jaya Vyasadeva Jaya Vyasadeva Srila Vyasadeva.
Jaya Vyasadeva 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 Jaya Vyasadeva.
Jaya Sanatan Goswami Jaya Sanatan Goswami Sanatan Goswami Jaya Sanatan Goswami.
Jaya Sanatan Goswami Jaya Sanatan Goswami Jaya Sanatan Goswami Jaya Sanatan Goswami.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Bhakti Charu Swami Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Bhakti Charu Swami Jaya Vaishnav Thakur.
Jaya Bhakti Charu Swami Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Bhakti Charu Swami Jaya Vaishnav Thakur.
Jaya Bhakti Charu Swami Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Bhakti Charu Swami Jaya Vaishnav Thakur.
Jaya Bhakti Charu Swami Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Bhakti Charu Swami Jaya Vaishnav Thakur.
Nittai Gaura Hariba 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 Nittai Gaura Hariba.
Nitai Gora Haribo Lo Haribo Haribo Nitai Gora Haribo.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, Guru Maharaj wrote an offering to Srila Prabhupada in 2016, early part of 2016, with the intention, of course, that he would be reading that at the Vyas Puja of Srila Prabhupada, which is the day after Sri Krishna's Janmashtami. But he must have read that offering to him in person in the spiritual room. So today, we'll take the opportunity to read that offering. And I wanted to ask Devaki Mataji to read that offering. So let me just see if I can bring it up. See if it's correct. Okay, let me just take off the spotlight. Okay, 1 second. Screen. Okay, Devaki, all yours.
Hi, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Devaki.
Hare Krishna, everybody. It's good to see everyone throughout the world, your lovely smiley faces, and Guru Maharaj would also be so happy to see you all. This offering in 2016 was actually the 50th anniversary of ISKCON. So it's actually quite an honor to read this offering. So, dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your divine grace, who conquered death by dedicating his whole life in the service of the Lord. The spiritual master is present in many forms, even when he may no longer be physically present on the earth. The disciple can serve the spiritual master's vapu when the spiritual master is on the earth. And then the disciple serve his vani when he leaves to enter the divine pastimes of the ever-joyful Lord. The vapu is the spiritual master's personal presence, and the vani is in his mission. The spiritual master always guides his genuine disciples, even when he is no longer present in this world. So how does the spiritual master come to us when he is no longer on the planet? During the last days on earth, your spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, said the spiritual master is always with the disciple in a variety of forms. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta acknowledged the support from these various forms of Srila Gurudev. He had lost his spiritual master and his father, two of his most prominent spiritual guides, within 1 year of each other, in 1914 and in 1915. Although devastated after their departure, he had an extraordinary experience. He felt, how shall I preach to the world the pure message of Sri Chaitanya and establish the heart's desire of my gurus? I have no support of people, no support of wealth, and I do not have any learning or any intelligence that can attract the common people. This feeling of void was answered by a visionary dream in which Bhaktisiddhanta saw the Panchatattva and their Sankirtan associates, along with Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, Jagannath Das Babaji, and others in the disciplinic succession, all having come before him to give assurance. They said, don't you worry at all. With same enthusiasm, preach the conclusion of pure devotion, in intense earnestness, chant the glories of the name, above form, attributes, associates, and pastimes of the Godhead in various places. All of us will help you. There is no need to worry. The support of unlimited people, countless wealth, and boundless learning await the blessing of being engaged in the service of your preaching. They will be received when they are necessary. No type of worldly hindrance or danger will be able to make any obstruction for this great work of yours. We are always with you. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati instructed you to preach in English and in the West to print books whenever you get money. Srila Prabhupada, you took those instructions to heart, and over 50 years ago, you made the spiritual adventurous journey of leaving your beloved Vrindavan to travel by ship to the USA. In a short period of time, you achieved the impossible, transcendental success, and offered solace to millions of souls. And although you left the planet many, many years ago, I have always felt guided and protected by you through your glorious disciples. You are present with us via the transcendental literature, such as the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam, that you so panickingly translated. What would we do without your Bhaktivedanta pulpits? You would become so pleased when your transcendental books were being distributed throughout the world by your dedicated disciples. In 1976, you made the following comments. Our book distribution is the most important task of our society. Therefore, I am giving so much stress and I am so hard on this because this is my life and soul according to the order of my Guru Maharaj. And by his grace, it is some extent successful. And I took it seriously. I take it seriously still now. This is my life and soul. I never tried in India to construct big temples, or even in your country we didn't. I never tried, but I was selling personally books. That is the history. And that was a room conversation that took place in Bombay, December the 31st, 1976. You are present whenever we chant the holy names because you made this possible. Who would have thought to chant Hare Krishna would spread throughout the whole world in every town and village? These prophecies were there as made by Lord Chaitanya and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but who believed that it would actually happen? When we chant the holy name, we remember that it is you that made us aware of it. Moreover, you made us aware of its importance. This is the special mercy of Lord Chaitanya relayed unto us by you. You are present as your faithful disciples. You spend much time with various disciples, training them to lead, training them to understand the deeper levels of the task of bringing neophytes up to full Krishna consciousness. It is easy to falsely imagine that we understand Krishna or devotion service, and it is easy to think that we know how to lead others. As often in these activities, there are traps and pitfalls. Without the guidance of advanced devotees, where would we be? Devotees learn to serve Krishna by serving you, and now newer devotees are learning to serve Krishna by following those you train, following in the footsteps. You are present in the deities you hold. In the Western world, it was never understood Krishna or God would have a personal form. The major religions in the West are not clear on this matter. Even some directly reject the concept of a divine form. Deep commitment and love to the Lord can happen only if a full image of the Supreme is understood. Therefore, the understanding and devotion to the deity form is the stepping stone for understanding worship and the Lord that broadens into divine relationship. This mystery would have been beyond us had it not been for you. You are present in devotee sangha. My God uncles, God aunties, God brothers, and God sisters are living proof that Krishna consciousness has worked for them and continues to work for them. What if we had been forced to practice devotional service on our own? What would be no support and no visible evidence that the devotional lifestyle can actually work? After all, almost everything in the material world seems to go against the practice of self-surrender to the Supreme by service. It might then seem that the glorious and noble path is only a wonderful ideal, too high for the real mortal world and impractical in this world of hard knocks and selfishness. Seeing firsthand the genuine realization and commitment of my God brothers and God sisters in our ISKCON is actually your hand lifting us through each other. You are present as a worldwide network of ISKCON temples and centers. It is amazing that anywhere one goes on planet Earth, there is a temple nearby. Who could imagine that in a few short years, such an incredible network of temples would be developed? What does the future have in store? These centers are all individual oases in the dry material desert. You are present in your recorded lectures, as well as the recollections of the devotees. Because of this modern technology, our planet is threatened, but there are also useful aspects of this technology when properly deployed. It is amazing that even today, 38 years after your departure, I can still see you chanting in Tompkinson Square Park or hear you speaking in Nairobi, Kenya. The tone of your voice, the details of the philosophy, the setting, all have not faded like an old hour, but remain ever fresh, ever able to uplift. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, "It is my Gurudev who graciously present in all of these different forms. If he is not graciously present in all of these different forms, who would then preserve me? Those whom my Guru Maharaj made his own are my saviors. The order of the Gurus, which have been in their nature, the protecting power of the divinity, are always present in different forms and figures to bestow their mercy on me. All of them are specific manifestations of the Sri Guru who confers spiritual knowledge. And that is from the Ray of Vishnu, Final Days. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.7.36, it is said, O best among the Brahmanas, those who are spiritual masters are very kind to the needy. They are always kind to their followers, disciples and sons. Not being after them, the spiritual master describes all of that in his knowledge. The Guru lives on for the disciple in his Vani. This Vani can be perceived by those who make the spiritual effort to serve in this Vani. This grateful servant humbly takes the lotus feet of his beloved spiritual master upon his head. Krishna Das Swami. Guru Maharaj Ki Jai.
Thank you very much, Devaki. You read it so beautifully. So almost like Guru Maharaj was there, but in a high voice, low voice. Thank you very, very much. It was really nice. So we wanted to do Aarti to Guru Maharaj and Hara Devi. Are you with us, Hara?
Haribol, it's Pushka here actually.
Oh yes, Aisha Pushka. Very good. So, Pastor, you want to say?
Prabhu, sorry, before you continue, I sent you a message. I don't think you saw it yet.
Okay.
They've just started the live streaming, so I don't know if you want to put that on like for a minute or two, so that everybody can take darshan before we do the aarti, or like after. I'm not sure.
Can you? I think you can share the screen.
Okay, can I try that?
Go for it. Go for it.
Let me just do that quickly.
So this is the live screening of the final rites of the Churu Swami. Brilliant. Right. So you can see they're doing Pratikshna of Guru Maharaj, and they're doing Aarti. Many devotees actually in the room. So as far as we understand, after they finish these rites, they will put Maharaj in the casket, which will be sealed, and then they will fly this cascade over to Bharat, to Mayapur, where they are planning to have a samadhi for His Holiness Bhakti Churu Swami. And the idea is the last flight from America to Bharat is 10th of July. And if they're unable to get on this repatriation flight, this is according to Jayapataka Swami, then they will have to hire a special flight. So 10th of July is only 5 days away.
So Navi, there's no sound with this feed?
No, there isn't.
No sound.
Okay.
This is, of course, very, very heartbreaking, especially for Maharaj's disciples and those who are very close to him. I can't even imagine what they're feeling now, because this was so sudden, so shocking. yeah, somewhat reminds us of our own Guru Maharaj, but he went to America completely fit and healthy, and within a few days he had contracted the virus and was on a ventilator in the hospital. So really that, I think for the disciples is a big shock. Our Guru Maharaj, his health was not well for a long, long time. And Dr. Rampal actually kept him going. He would say to us many, many times, Dr. Rampal and Radha and Krishna are keeping him going. And Maharaj would often warn us that I could go at any moment. And because his health was not good, his age was quite advanced. So for us, in many ways, Maharaj was there for us for quite some time, and it was wonderful to have his wonderful instructions. But I think for the disciples of Bhakti Swami, it's just a little too sudden. And he had a wonderful project in Orlando, which he was working very hard. That's where he went, from Ujjain to Orlando, the city of Mickey Mouse. But he went there to make a city into a transcendental place. Anyway, we can never know what is in the mind of the Lord and his pure devotee. So we can only take this as an arrangement by the Supreme Lord to have his devotee back with him sooner than we would like. And all of our prayers, they're not for Bhakti Swami, because he's already looked after by the Lord. Just like His Holiness Krishna Swami Guru Maharaj. Our prayers, what do they mean? Because they're already under the protection of the Lord. But these prayers that we offer are actually for our own purification. We are the beneficiaries of offering any prayers of protection of the devotee to the Lord. Thank you, Atma. It's a very good suggestion, and I really do appreciate what you've just shown us. It's really, really good. Thank you very, very much. Hare Krishna. Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj ki jai. So, Pushkar. Okay. So, would you like to start? So this is our, wonderful. This is really incredible seva which Hara and Pushkar have done. They gave me this beautiful picture of Guru Maharaj as well, and it is such an amazing picture, such a fantastic smiling face. So I'd like to thank you, Hara and Pushkar. And here, if you see, they have the lotus feet of Guru Maharaj. So every day, Hara was saying to her, sharing with us that she goes and touches his lotus feet every single day and puts it to her. Said, when he was present, she couldn't do that, but now she has his lotus feet, and he does. She gets the blessings every day. So well done, Hara.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So you can start the aarti, huh? Shri Guru Jagannath
Yahara Prasadeva E Baba Tohoriya.
Yahara Prasadeva Evavatoriya
Krishna Prati Mukha Padmavatya Ite Ekaniya Kari Asha Guru Charane Rati Magati Prashade Pure Sarvaya
Kudana Dule Janme Janme Prabhu se Kudana Diloye Janme Janme Prabhu se Divya Hidaya Prakashita Premavatiya Haite Avidya Vinashayate Gita Yahara Charito Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Jalara Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Jalara Bandhu Lokena Lokena Jivana Aha Prabhu Kara Doya De Hamare Pada Chaya Aha Prabhu Kara Doya De Hamare Pada Chaya Eviya Krishna Bhavana Eviya Krishna Bhavana Mahaprabhu Kora Doya Deha Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, thank you, Hari Bol. Jai.
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 So actually that arti that was done by Pushkar Prabhu is to Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj as well. There's a picture of Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj there. And they got the picture today and framed it up and got a nice garland. Very nicely decorated actually. Thank you very much, Pushkar. Oh, very good, yes.
Cake.
So
Wow.
woof. So that cake is enough for at least 100 devotees. So we can just send our address to Hara and Pushkar, and they will post a piece of that cake to all of us. Yeah, very, very nicely done. So shall we do a cake cutting ceremony to Srila Vyasadev and Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru Maharaj and Bhakti Charu Swami? Fabulous. Yes, well done. Well done. How does it go? Forgotten.
Yes, Puja too, yeah.
Okay. Are you guys ready? Is it everybody ready? We can unmute everybody.
Okay, I'm going to unmute everyone and everyone can sing along with us.
Prabhuji, can you give us 2-3 minutes? We are also bringing a cake.
Oh, yes. Anybody else got a cake?
We had one, we already took it.
Oh, bring our one. There's about one piece left. 2 minutes past midday. And so just to remind devotees that tomorrow we'll meet again, 5 o'clock UK time. And hopefully Prahladanandan Maharaj will join us. We're not too sure yet because, waiting for his confirmation. He may be busy with Bhakti Charu Swami's different devotees will be requiring help. Today, actually, Giriraj Maharaj did ask us that he can come here, but the devotees in South Africa also requested his presence. And of course, we know that the disciples of Bhakti will need a lot of assistance at this time. So Giriraj Maharaj said he can join us anytime. So we were thinking next Sunday we will do Vyas Puja where we can all share our realizations about Guru Maharaj and offer our homage to Guru Maharaj. And this following Sunday, we can invite Giriraj Maharaj for a special satsang just to give us his pastimes with Guru Maharaj. So if devotees don't like the idea, do let me know. But if I don't hear anything, I presume that you are unhappy with that. So,
Ready, Prabhuji.
okay, great.
Good.
So we can't see you though. Can we see you?
It's John.
Our camera is on. Can you see Janvi?
Oh, Jahnavi. Wow. Let's have a look at Jahnavi.
Just put a spot back for me.
Oh.
Wow.
Happy Vyasa Puja to you. Happy Vyasa Puja to you. Puja dear Guru Maharaj.
Happy Vyasa Puja to you.
Vaishnavas in the world. Happy Vyasa
January.
You're so beautiful. Wow. Well done.
Very good.
Well done for cutting the cake. And this is Bal Gopal, huh? Very nice. Very, very nice. Well done. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Jahnavi. I hope you cook down your... And so we can finish off with Pushka's.
Dhoni chokri se.
This is
Uddhav's daughter.
Uddhav and Shiv Ganga. Hare Krishna to you. Dear Vyasadeva, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Swami.
Krishna to you.
Hari Hari Bol.
Vivo.
So, Hara, you have my address?
You'll be lucky.
What?
Yay.
You. So, wanted to ask our dear Madhu Sudan.
Sorry, Prabhu, you need to unmute yourself. You're muted.
Yeah, I have, yes, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Prabhuji, but your volume is very low.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better.
Okay. So this is reading Guru Maharaj's life from childhood. Want me to carry on, Navi?
Yes, please, carry on, huh?
Okay. Jai Guru Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So His Holiness Krishna Swami Maharaj appeared on 2nd of June 1932 in his material grandfather's village in the district of Ludhiana, Punjab, Bharat. Maharaj's paternal village was Daulatpur in the district of Kapurthala in Punjab. So at the young age, Maharaj left his parents' home and was raised by his maternal grandfather, who was a devout Vaishnav and a renowned astrologer. Under his personal guidance, Maharaj memorized the famous Bhaja Govindam Charpat Panjarika Stotra when he was a toddler. Then Maharaj memorized the details of a Ramayana at the age of 11, and a few years later memorized all the verses of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Third page?
Yeah.
Yeah. From the young age, Guru Maharaj was raised as a missionary of Sanatana Dharma. To this end, his wise grandfather made His Holiness aware of other religions such as Sikhism. This particularly proved very useful when Maharaj was once invited to speak at a Sikh Gurudwara in Spain. His Holiness astounded the congregation by quoting the Sikh scriptures to endorse Krishna conscious principles, Diksha. After searching earnestly for a spiritual master, in the year 1949, at the tender age of 16, Guru Maharaj was initiated into the Vaishnava Sampradaya by His Divine Grace, Pandit Trilochan Dev Ji Maharaj Parampad. His education, parallel to the Vaishnava training, Maharaj also studied at Punjab University and after qualifying joined the Civil Service Education Board. Guru Maharaj served as a headmaster in a secondary school and also taught English, Hindi and social studies. Apart from Hindi and English, Guru Maharaj also knew Sanskrit, Punjabi, Urdu and could read and understand Gujarati. Then coming to the West, knowing that Maharaj was meant to serve a higher purpose, in 1966, His Holiness's respected spiritual master ordered Guru Maharaj to renounce his civil servant duties and embark on the journey to the West with the aim of preaching Sanatana Dharma. On 3rd of April 1966, Guru Maharaj left Bharat for the United Kingdom and started preaching in London. As destiny would have it, one day some devotees from the International Society of Krishna Consciousness visited Guru Maharaj's residence to invite him to the temple at Bury Place. The temple president was most impressed with Maharaj and kindly requested His Holiness to give regular classes, both in English and Hindi, on Sundays as well as festival days. During the historical 1973 London Rath Yatra, when Srila Prabhupada graced the occasion, Krishnadas Maharaj had the opportunity to have the divine darshan of Srila Prabhupada. A month later, Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada had a personal meeting at the Bhaktivedanta Manor. During that meeting, Srila Prabhupada emphasized the fact that Guru Maharaj had come to the West for the same mission for which Srila Prabhupada had come. Therefore, there was no need for Maharaj to start afresh. Instead, it would be better if Maharaj joined ISKCON and made use of the preaching centers that had already been established. In this way, Srila Prabhupada convinced Krishnadas Maharaj to join ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada also suggested that Maharaj renounce his Grihastha ashram and take up sannyas. When Guru Maharaj was fully convinced with Srila Prabhupada's advice, Guru Maharaj immediately and humbly accepted Srila Prabhupada as his Shiksha Guru and Sannyas Guru. Srila Prabhupada became very happy and immediately accepted Guru Maharaj as his sannyasi disciple. Guru Maharaj then said that there was one last etiquette to follow through before he could formally join ISKCON. As per the Vedic injunctions and traditions, Maharaj had to take permission from his Diksha Guru. Thus, Maharaj wrote a letter to his Diksha Guru, His Divine Grace Pandit Trilochan Devji Maharaj Parampad, requesting to allow Guru Maharaj to join the Hare Krishna movement that was originally founded by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Bharat, and now in the Western world by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In the letter, Guru Maharaj explained everything about the movement and Srila Prabhupada, how they were preaching the complete philosophy of Sanatana Dharma as described in Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam without any compromise, abstaining from even onion, garlic, tea, coffee, and preaching, and following all four regulatory principles very strictly. In a broad-minded spirit of a true Vaishnava, knowing the benefits of Srila Prabhupada's proposal, His Holiness's spiritual master gave Guru Maharaj blessings to join ISKCON so that Sanatana Dharma could be spread rapidly all over the world. Guru Maharaj had a family with 3 children. While carrying out his family duties, Guru Maharaj also would visit and preach at the ISKCON temples on weekends. When his 2 oldest sons were old enough, had stopped further studies and started working, Guru Maharaj renounced his family attachment in order to follow Srila Prabhupada's desire to preach Krishna consciousness all over the world. On 7th of April 1974, Maharaj joined ISKCON full-time and started living at the Bury Place temple. On 29th October 1976, Guru Maharaj shifted to the Bhaktivedanta Manor, where His Holiness stayed for 18 years. I remember actually going to Bury Place and seeing an Indian gentleman amongst all the American and all the other devotees, you know, in 1975, I was on a course in London. So I would visit Bury Place. I used to love going there. I was there for about 3 weeks. And I just keep seeing, you know, but I must have seen Maharaj then, you know, at that time. Because he was the only Indian gentleman. There were not many, you know. So, and on Ram Navami day of 1981, Maharaj installed the deities of Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman at the Bhaktivedanta Manor. In July 1987, ISKCON's governing body commission appointed Guru Maharaj as an initiating guru. Since then, Guru Maharaj initiated over 450 disciples globally and was an inspiration to thousands of others. Guru Maharaj constantly traveled to preach the message of Sanatana Dharma all over the world. Some key places where Maharaj preached are Bharat, Mauritius, South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Spain, Portugal, USA, Trinidad, Suriname, Grenada, Venezuela, French Guiana, British Guiana, UK, Holland, Belgium, Gibraltar, Ceuta and Luxembourg. And Maharaj was instrumental in establishing temples in the UK, Coventry in South London, South Africa, Ladysmith, Botswana, Gabon, Mauritius and Bharat in Punjab, and to name a few. So there is Maharaj when he was leaving, or when he's coming from the airport or going, and he would meet.
Oh, leaving it. This one, yeah, it looks like he's leaving. And there's Dr. Rampal there. Dr. Janagraj.
No.
Oh, yes, Sridevi. Very good.
Yeah, very Damodar. That's
and there's Anand Vijay there.
Well, we shared a lot of time with Maharaj, especially in Coventry and South London. And in the early days, traveled around with Maharaj. Even I used to drive him around quite a lot.
Yes.
Midlands and do different temples here in Leamington, and he would certainly come and stay at my humble abode here, but it was a pleasure to have him.
Very good.
Some key places, okay. The Guru Maharaj used to preach to the Westerners and also the Bharatiya countries by personally visiting their homes in different cities and encourage them to become ISKCON life members. Many Bharatiya people were generally not accepting of the young foreign devotees. However, they were highly impressed by the heavy, strong preaching of an elderly Bharatiya sadhu. Hence, they were convinced to join ISKCON, which they otherwise viewed as a foreign hippie movement.
This is in South London, Janmashtami festival.
Yeah.
Amazing days.
So wonderful days when we used to drive all the way through London, get to South London, and
yes,
have wonderful prasad with you guys. And share the nectar of Guru Maharaj's heavy preaching. He was like a lion, once he sat in the Vyasasana, you'd be looking tired. Like I told you once, I took him to South Hall Temple. It's a Hindu temple, very big one, very huge, But when we got there, Maharaj was given only 5 minutes because the committee, Hindu temple committees are a bit funny. And actually, Maharaj was going to give a longer lecture actually, but somehow they said, "No, you only got 5 minutes because you Hare Krishnas, But Maharaj said, "That's enough for me." And in those 5 minutes, I tell you, I sat there next to Maharaj, and Maharaj just blasted everyone in the congregation in such a way and made everybody awake to the Sanatana Dharma that you don't know what you've got, what Sanatana Dharma is. And I remember that moment. And then some people came afterwards, said, "Maharaj, you must speak more." Maharaj said, "No, I was only given 5 minutes, so I can't speak anymore." But that was a heavy, heavy session.
Thank you for sharing that.
On a few occasions, Maharaj met world leaders and preached vegetarianism to them. One example was Dr. Nelson Mandela. There you are, and even Bhakti Tirtha there.
That's very nice.
Guru Maharaj also preached in mosques where he distributed copies of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and met with leaders of the Muslim community thus enhancing relationship between the two faiths.
This was in South London. He met with the Khalifa, of the head of the Ahmadiyya Muslims. Amazing, amazing interaction Maharaj had.
Guru Maharaj undertook and led a number of significant projects, namely the Save the Manor campaign in the UK, interfaith preaching programs, renaming of roads and villages in Mauritius, establishment of the Goshala in Bharat, Pandal events in Mauritius, preaching to political and social leaders, and ISKCON Life membership campaigns in various countries.
Goshala,
this is
beautiful, beautiful.
Prayers to Lord Kalki. It pained Guru Maharaj's heart to see the state of irreligion prevailing in the world, especially Bharat. Bharat, the land where religion was born and flourished, is now witness to all kinds of sinful and irreligious activities. Mother cow is being killed and beef is being exported from the land where cows were worshipped and protected. All the symptoms of Kali Yuga mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures are manifesting. The age of Kali has committed so many sinful activities that it has devoured itself and shortened its duration. As a result, Guru Maharaj had started praying to Lord Krishna to fulfill his promise made in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita 4.7.8 to appear whenever there is a rise in irreligion. Guru Maharaj had been praying to Lord Krishna to appear as Lord Kalki to end this most degraded age, Kali Yuga, and re-establish the religious principles and the golden age, Satya Yuga.
This is Gopalji in Kalki, Kalki Dham, very beautiful deity.
Guru Maharaj left his material body in Braj Bhumi, near Kosi, Bharat, on 20th July 2016, and entered the eternal pastimes of Shri Radha Shyam Sundar. This was on the day after Guru Purnima, which this year fallen on Monday, 6th of July 23. Though no longer physically present among us, Guru Maharaj's lives forever through his instructions or Vani, and in the hearts of all those who live, whose lives His Holiness touched. Jai Krishna Swami Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Jai, thank you.
Thank you, Mother Sandhu. Anything else you'd like to share, Mother Sandhu? I know there's lots, isn't there?
Yeah, there's lots, and as I said, Maharaj, since his time, and even when the manor was open and Maharaj was staying at the manor, I remember going weekend and then Sundays he would be giving a class in Hindi, and I would sit there and listen. And I had it on a few occasions, but I didn't realize at that time that would become a personality that we are talking about today. And to me, it was just some Hindu sannyasi sadhu just giving a class in Hindi. And I remember the Sitaram, Lakshmana, Hanuman deities there at the manor. And first time I ever went to manor, there was only Jagannath and the deities. The temple had just opened. So it was since my early days like that. That's how I came into Krishna consciousness. But Krishnadas Maharaj has guided us very, diligently and inspiring, and devotees like Nanubai, who's actually now passed away, but his Dharampatni is here watching this event. But she's a wonderful cook at our temple here. There are so many other devotees who came, Hara, and they all joined in the Coventry temple here. Anand Vijay is sitting there watching. He met Maharaj at my residence here, and he asked some wonderful questions he had, because he had a bit of a Christian, viewpoints and all that. But Maharaj actually, really opened up his eyes to Sanatana Dharma. And since then, Anand Vijay has really been a dedicated servant of Maharaj. And to see someone coming from a West Indies background taking on Sanatan principles and dedicating the life, that's all because of Maharaj's credit. You know, Maharaj really convinced him that the Sanatan Dharma is not, you know, not some religion like a man-made religion or some sort of, you know, Sanatan is eternal principles, and that can never, you know, never be destroyed or anything. They'll always be there. And because he had a Christian viewpoint, you know, some religions, there's a difference between religions and the Sanatan Dharma. So we are so fortunate, and Maharaj always insisted us that we never call India, India, you know, always Bharat. And now, you know, they're always trying to change the name of India to Bharat, you know, but Maharaj would have been very, very pleased if, you know, had he known the condition of Bharat now, the way it is, it would have pained him a lot. But to see that Maharaj is instilling Sanatana Dharma principles, but he would always say, you know, at the end of the, you know, he would also say that Prabhupada is the 13th Mahajan. He would refer to Prabhupada as, you know, the 12 Mahajans are there, but Prabhupada is the 13th Mahajan. And then also that Bharat Mat ki Jai, Sanatan Dharma ki Jai, there's always at the end, Go Mata ki Jai. That was so instilled in all of us. We remember that wherever Maharaj was, he would have done that, you know. So these are the things we remember, and we carry that in our hearts. So thank you very much for letting me share.
Thank you.
All the devotees, Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
And Anant Vijay Prabhu, would you like to share anything?
Hare Krishna to all the wonderful Vaishnava devotees on the call. As I've been listening, I've been thinking to myself that really I'm overwhelmed with gratitude for Guru Maharaj, for Srila Prabhupada, but everything that we've done so far, and I thank you for actually setting the agenda, Nabi, is very nicely done, and everything is relevant. One of the things that happen to us as devotees is that we sometimes can't see the full big picture, and it takes time. I'm an old man now, and by the mercy of Guru Maharaj, I've spent so many years with him that some of it he had to shout at me and beat me a little bit verbally, but nevertheless, it stuck. But you get, after a while, you get a sense of what the program is. And the program is to actually make our decision and our determination to go back home. But it's an activity we can't achieve by ourselves. So everything that we've done today ties into that program of going back home. Srila Vyasadeva, the Lord himself, acting that role, you know, and actually needing his guru to give him guidance in the form of Narad Muni. But what is the point of the scriptures? What is the point of Srimad Bhagavatam and all the other scriptures? Is to help us Jivatmas who are floundering in the material universe to actually get a sense of, look, this is not my real home. My identity is spiritual, and I'm falsely identifying with matter. And in that way, Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta, the whole Guru Parampara is about that. And we have to catch that mission. So we're extremely fortunate to get a qualified, fixed, bona fide. Guru Maharaj used to say, you need a fixed, strong, bona fide, qualified Guru. He always used to say like that, because he knows unless we get a qualified, fixed up, bona fide Guru, we will not be able to take the instruction, will not be able to actually be challenged enough to wake up. Wake up, sleepy souls, Guru Maharaj used to say. And that is what a mission is to wake up and to understand and to make the decision. Every initiated devotee has made the decision. Not only did I take Diksha and I got my nice name, but actually in between that and the foundation of that, I've made the decision to go back home. That decision we've made. And by the teaching and guidance of the Guru, we can stick to that decision and stay on board, stay on that mission. Life obstacles will come. The three modes of material nature will challenge us. Whether health, finances, relationships, we will be challenged. But the Guru's instruction, those who stick by the Guru's instruction, will always stay on the path. And it's about going back home. Stay on the path of trying to go back home and stay within it. But we can't do it by ourselves. We need this Sanatan philosophy. We need the teaching and mercy of the Guru. I can't quote it verbatim, but in Vishnu Puran, the Lord is speaking to Garud very nicely. And then in conclusion, which is really nice conclusion, he says, actually, so many things I've told you, but the most important thing for getting out the material universe is the mercy of a Guru. Without the mercy of the Guru, no one. You can get very high philosophy, you can get very big yogic powers, but actually you still won't leave. But the mercy of the Guru is so powerful, it is so potent that it can actually, by that qualification, we can leave here. So I encourage all my God brothers and sisters to please stay on track, understand the mission. This activity takes us out of our routine. There'll be another activity tomorrow and following on next week. We must see these activities as significant because anything connected to the Guru is significant. I applaud Uddhav and all the other devotees who are working on that website. Don't see it as a simple thing. Whatever instruction the Guru gives or whatever service you're attempting in the Guru's name, you should never see as insignificant. It's not that you should be big-headed about it, but see it as significant because the Guru would appreciate it. We've all got experience with Guru Maharaj. I've seen how Guru Maharaj, he came Coventry in the initial days. The temple wasn't even a temple, it was just a derelict building. But I've never heard Guru Maharaj criticized, and maybe the same with South London. He never once criticized. Year after year he would come. You never once heard him say, oh, is this all the progress you've made in a year? No, it was always complimentary. Keep going, keep developing this center. Whatever you're doing in Krishna's service is important. And whatever we're doing Guru's service, that is the right utilization of our energy or resources or Lakshmi, whatever. So I'm encouraging all my God brothers and sisters. I'm founding myself within the same principle, same instruction I'm sharing with you. I'm taking it on board myself, that I don't lose track. The whole thing is to continue to be committed to go home, which means I've got to be as a devotee, keep my principles, keep my vows, and continue, on that journey, staying surrendered to Krishna and serving in whatever our capacity allows us to serve. Some of us may be able to serve in a grand way, but just serving in a simple way, but keep that service faithfully, abiding by the guidance and by the instructions of the Guru, success is guaranteed. I'm very happy and very grateful to be part of this local Guru Maharaj family in the wider family of ISKCON, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to participate in this program today. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for sharing that, Prabhu. Very, very nice. Very important instructions. So the final part of what we wanted to share today is about Bhakti Charu Swami. Let me just see if we can. Yeah, it's going. No, wrong. Just 1 second. So as we know, yesterday Maharaj passed away, and truly tragic moment for ISKCON, for his disciples, and we know the feeling the disciples are having because we had it a few years ago. But it's something that is very different. Even I would say, even today, I was reading through some of the things about when he disappeared, Guru Maharaj, and still sort of puts a lump in the throat. Anyway? So let me just have a look. So we wanted to read a little bit about Maharaj's life story, and share this with the devotees. When a great devotee passes away, we should remember him It's purifying ourselves. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, we're there. So Jayanti will read this.
So this is His Holiness Bhakti Swami. His Holiness Bhakti Swami is a Gaudiya Vaishnava sannyasi and the leader of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Bhakti Swami hails from an aristocratic Bengali family born on 17th of September 1945, where he spent most of his early childhood in urban Kolkata. He went on to study at university in Germany, where he came across the Vedic scriptures. In 1975, he returned to India to wholeheartedly pursue spiritual life. This spurred in him the desire to explore and understand the spiritual reality. After completing his studies, he spent another number of years searching for a guru to guide him on the spiritual path. The search came to an end when he came across Srila Prabhupada's teachings in the form of one of his books, The Nectar of Devotion. As he was reading this book, he became more and more convinced that Srila Prabhupada was the person who could properly guide him on the spiritual path. Thus, he accepted him as a spiritual master. At that time, Srila Prabhupada was in America. Bhakti Swami left home and joined ISKCON in Sridham, Mayapur in late 1976. His first meeting with Srila Prabhupada took place in January 77, where he actually I heard this morning that his first meeting was actually in the Kumbh Mela. The devotees took him from Mayapur to Kumbh Mela because he wanted to meet Srila Prabhupada. So that is when he first met him. He didn't actually get to meet him at the actual Kumbh Mela, but when Srila Prabhupada was going back to Vrindavan, the devotees managed to get a whole carriage for the devotees to take Srila Prabhupada back to Vrindavan, and that is actually when he first met Srila Prabhupada. At that meeting, he was instructed to translate all of his books into Bengali. Joining Srila Prabhupada's entourage from this time onwards, Maharaj was soon made ISKCON Secretary for Indian Affairs. He was then given first and second initiation in Mayapur during the Go Punim festival of 1977. Soon thereafter, during the Snan Yatra festival in Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada gave Maharaj sannyas initiation. Maharaj traveled with and personally served Srila Prabhupada for the final year of Prabhupada's life. After Srila Prabhupada's departure from this world in 1977, Maharaj served in Mayapur for several years whilst the society was going through a critical phase. In 1987, Maharaj became an initiating guru in ISKCON and joined its governing body commission, serving as its chairman in 1989. By 1995, Maharaj had translated into Bengali all of Srila Prabhupada's works on major Vedic literatures, consisting of more than 50 volumes of books, including Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Nectar of Devotion, just as Srila Prabhupada had instructed him in their very first meeting. In 1996, Maharaj took on the mammoth task of making a biographical video epic on the life of his spiritual master, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, entitled Abhay Charan. This video series is broadcast on national television in India and is distributed globally on DVD. In 2004, at the invitation of the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Maharaj built a magnificent new ISKCON temple in just 10 months in Ujjain, the ancient and holy city also known as Avantika, and the place where Krishna and Balaram went to school. The temple has 3 huge altars for the worship of Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan, Sri Sri Krishna Balaram, and Sri Sri Gaur Nitai, a Goshala for cow protection, midday meals facility for school children, a rural program to spread Vedic culture to village people, and several outreach centers in Bhopal and Indore. So this is actually the temple in Ujjain. So the deities are under the 3 domes there. This is a huge temple hall with exists really great gardens in the front. And this is the guest house, which also has Govindas in there. The Goshala is
in the back.
Yeah, it's behind the guest house. So this is Radha Madan Mohan. Vishaka. Maharaj served as ISKCON governor for France and South Africa at a time when each of these zones was facing immense difficulties, and through perseverance was able to turn around the situations there. In 2007, Maharaj began an altar production facility in Ujjain. The facility manufactures beautiful deity altars of all shapes and sizes for temples and devotees globally. In 2013, Maharaj began development of a new ISKCON temple in Panihati, a very holy place in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, being the home of Raghav Pandit and the place of Lord Nityananda's chipped rice Chidadadi festival. In 2014, Maharaj established Arogya Niketan, a traditional and authentic Ayurvedic clinic in Ujjain. In 2014, Maharaj joined Artha Forum and began delivering keynote speeches globally on spirituality to large audiences of business leaders. Maharaj is the chairman of Annamrit Foundation, ISKCON's midday meals program, which feeds 1.2 million children across India every day. Maharaj was recently the chairman of the GBC Executive Committee and the GBC Zonal Secretary for ISKCON in Mayapur, Kolkata, Ujjain, Bhubaneswar, Bangladesh, and Seattle. He travels constantly across India, US, UK, South Africa, the Middle East, and Australia, holding spiritual retreats and seminars, and fulfilling Srila Prabhupada's instruction to him to spread the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhakti Churi Swami has on many occasions displayed his mastery and expertise in the field of management and leadership, community building, and strengthening relationships. He has delivered presentations as a keynote speaker at top management and engineering institutes of the world, such as MIT, Boston, IIMS, and IITs. He has founded and established the I Foundation, a leading Hindu charity organization in the United Kingdom, which is the foundation of the Krishnavanti schools. In 2016, Bhakti Churi Swami launched a beautiful memoir, Ocean of Mercy, a search fulfilled, where he recollects his intimate interactions with Srila Prabhupada. This book describes how he developed a genuine love and dedication for Srila Prabhupada, who gave him a life of Krishna Bhakti, and thus revealed to him to be truly an ocean of mercy. On 17th of November 2016, Institute of International Social Development, New York, an NGO in special consultative status with the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations, awarded an accolade to Bhakti Churi Swami as a display of their gratitude for all the support he gave them on behalf of ISKCON in spreading the message of spirituality for the world peace and understanding between nations and civilizations. He has recently started a new project called Veda Foundation and Cow Sanctuary, which is situated in D-Land, Florida. It stretches 120 acres. His mission there is to propagate the Vedic culture and wisdom more simply in the West through setting in motion farm communities and visual media. He carries the following responsibilities in preaching of God consciousness around the world. Invited as an honorary guest to speak on various topics concerning consciousness and ethical leadership, building credible leaders, the art of successful relationships, and communities at corporate enterprises such as Ernst & Young, Accenture, and HSBC Bank, UK. The caretaker of communities in areas such as Sridhar, Mayapur, Bangladesh, Kolkata, Ujjain, Orissa, Seattle, and D-Land, Florida. Traveling and preaching across India, USA, UK, Western Europe, South Africa, UAE, Southeast Asia, and Australia for the past 42 years. He continues to be an inspirer and guide to thousands of people whose lives have been transformed by his teachings and instructions. His vision and mission, those 2 months have turned into 40 years, but they have flown by, and by Srila Prabhupada's causeless mercy, my life has found its perfection. My realization is that I am an integral part and parcel of Krishna. My life's goal is to develop my loving relationship with him. It is all due to the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, who took me by the hand and led me to that relationship. I know that I have found the true path to perfection. Achieving success is only a matter of continuity, moving forward without deviation, which is from the Ocean of Mercy. Maharaj's voice, sweeter than honey, has immortalized many of our Acharya's prayers, most famously Maharaj's heartfelt rendition of the Gopis' Song of Separation from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam rings in our ears. Despite his position and many qualifications, both material and spiritual, Maharaj was a humble and loving gentleman who took pleasure in serving devotees. Indeed, one of Maharaj's favorite pastimes was to personally cook and serve prasadam for the devotees. As in all aspects of his service and gentle and cultured nature, Maharaj's cooking was highly refined and infused with bhakti. One of the lectures actually, I've heard that Bhakti Chur Maharaj actually, when he first joined ISKCON, he didn't really know how to cook. And Srila Prabhupada asked him actually one day to cook chapatis, and he had no clue what to do. So he ran around asking for help from other devotees, and that's how he started learning. And he made it a point that he would learn how to cook because he wanted to cook for Srila Prabhupada.
In fact, one of the pictures that Atharvishi shared today on the group is where Prabhupada and Bhakti Chur Swami and Tamal Krishna Maharaj are in the kitchen. I think Bhakti Chur Swami's got a chapati in his hand. So.
Yeah, and actually, our first trip to Kolkata, we actually went to Bhakti Chur Maharaj's ashram. He was there, and he made it a point that we were well fed that day as well. So he really looked after everyone, especially when it came to prasadam. He visited South London several times in the early 1990s, and his kirtans were amazing. His advice regards Ekadashi and how to compare Ekadashi fast still followed to this very day by Nabi. There are no words that provide solace when facing separation from such a glorious Vaishnava. We can take some comfort in the fact that His Holiness Bhakti Chur Maharaj lived constantly in meditation on how to serve Srila Prabhupada and his mission. Undoubtedly, he now continues that service under the direction of His Divine Grace. Actually, all this is actually from the GVC statement that was published yesterday. Let us offer true homage to Maharaj by continuing his legacy of service in our own lives. Let us commit ourselves, mind, body, and soul to the service of Srila Prabhupada, following in the footsteps of his beloved servant, His Holiness Bhakti Chur Swami. One of Maharaj's most cherished instructions from His Divine Grace was, your love for me will be shown by how we cooperate together after I'm gone. Now in Maharaj's absence, we're reminded to take that instruction to heart and reaffirm our dedication to ISKCON and to each other. As Maharaj often glorifies Srila Prabhupada with the beautiful words of the Gopis, let us also remember Maharaj as that most beneficent Vaishnava who will eternally inspire the followers of Srila Prabhupada to share the glories of Lord Krishna. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavebe iditam tadva masha phalam. Shavanam mangalam srimad atatam bhuvi grananti ye bhuri vijanaha. The nectar of your words and the descriptions of your activities are the life and soul of those suffering in this material world. These narrations transmitted by learned sages eradicate one's sinful reactions which have good fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Certainly those who spread the message of Godhead are most beneficent. In Holiness Bhakti Chur Swami Ki Jai.
So, just wanted to some pictures here. So, just to let devotees know, of course, this is one for Guru Maharaj. They're having a bear hug here, Bhakti Chur Swami. And here, this is Mauritius. So we have Dattatreya, and he's passed away the same year as Guru Maharaj, 2016. A wonderful devotee. He was the leader in Mauritius, first disciple, yeah. And his two daughters, Chitra Manjari and Karuna Bandara, his legacy, and they're wonderful devotees. They're so sweet. And amazing. So you'll see one of them reciting the Nrsimha Kavach in a minute or two, and see how wonderfully talented she is, devoted to Guru Maharaj. This is a nice picture. The 6 Goswamis, I suppose, of ISKCON. This must have been at the time of Rath Yatra, perhaps in Durban, maybe, I'm not sure. Is anybody from South Africa here? No. There's Giriraj Maharaj, Indra Swami with Bhakti Swami, Temple Swami. This is with Shivram Maharaj in Hungary. So, are there anybody like to share anything, any realizations, anything that you've heard maybe in the last few days that you'd like to share with us? You certainly can. Welcome to share anything about Maharaj, about Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada, Sanatana Goswami, or Vyasdev. Okay, we can then recite the Nrsimha Kavach, and this is for Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Swami as well. And okay, let me see if that can be shared. Oh, wrong one. Okay. So we have the Nrsimha Kavach here, and devotees are welcome to follow the Kavach as we're going through it. And so, Karuna Bandar, are you there?
Hare Krishna.
Hi. Thank you very much. It must be quite late in Mauritius, so apologies.
Okay, it's okay. Shri Nrsimha Dev ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nrsimha Kavacham Vakshe Prahladena Ditam Pura, Sarvaraksha Punyam Sarvopadravanashanam, Sarvasampatkaram Cheva Swargamoksha Pradayakam, Dhyadva Narasimham Devyesham Hemsimhasanastitam, Vivritashyam Trinayanam Sharadindushamaprabham, Lakshmyalingitam Vamangam Vibhutibirupashritam, Chaturbhujam Komalangam Swarnakundala Shreyasu Shobhitumuraskam Ratnakeyuramudritam, Taptakanchana Shankasham Pita Nirmalabhasasam, Indradi Suramurishta Suranmani Kadiptibi, Virajita Padadvanvam Shankachakradihetibi, Garudmata cha Vinayat Stuyamanam Mudanvitam, Saritakamala Samvasam Kritva tu Kavacham Pate, Narasingho me Shirapatu Lokarakshat Sambhava, Sarvagopi Stambhavasa Phalam me Rakshatu Dhvanim, Narasingho me Drishapatu Suma Sunyani Rochana, Sritam me patu narahari muni varyastuti priya, Nasham me simha nashastu mukham lakshmi mukha priya, Sarva vidyadi papatu narasinghu rasanam mama, Vaktram padvindu vadanam sada prahlada vandita, Narasingha patu me kanthav skandho bhovaranantakte, Divyastra shobhita bhuja Narasingha patu me bhujav, Karo me deva varado Narasingha patu sarvata, Hridayam yogi sadyasya nivasam patu me hari, मध्यं पातु हिरण्याक्ष वक्षाकुक्षि विदारण नाभिं विपातु नरहरि स्वनाभिब्रह्म संस्तुत ब्रह्मादकोतया कत्यां यास्यसो पातु मे कत्तिं भूयं मे पातु भूयानां मन्त्राणां भूयरूपदे उरुमनो भव पातु जानुनि नररूपदे जाङ्गे पातु धराभार हर्ता योऽसौ नृकेशरी सूरराजा प्रदपातु पादौ मे नरहेश्वर सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषा पातु मे सर्वशस्तनु महोग्रः पूर्वतः पातु महावीरागजोनित महाविष्णु दक्षिणे तु महाज्वालस्तु नैऋतौ पश्चिमे पातु सर्वेषु दिशि मे सर्वतोमुख नरसिंह पातु वायव्यां सोम्नां भेषणविग्रहः शान्यां पातु भद्रो मे सर्वमङ्गलदायक संसारभयतः पातु मृत्युनिकेशरी इदं नरसिंहं कवचं प्रह्लादमुखमन्दिरम् भक्तिमान् यपते नित्यं सर्वपापमोचते पुत्रवान्धलोके दीर्घायुयुपजाति यं यं कामयते कामं तं तं प्राप्नोति संशयं विजयी भवेत् भूयन्तरिक्षदेव्यानां ग्रहाणां विनिवारणं वृश्चिकरोगसम्भूत विषाणां दुरोचारणकारणं भुजे वा तालपत्रे वा कवचं निकितं शुभं कर्मूले धृतं येन सिद्ध्येयुः कर्म सिद्ध्यय देवासुर्मनुष्येषु स्वं स्वम् एव जयं लभेत् एकसन्ध्यं त्रिसन्ध्यं वा यपते नित्यं मुक्तिं च विन्दति 32,000 पाते क्षुधात्मवेनिभिः कवचस्यास्य मन्त्रस्य मन्त्रसिद्धिः प्रजायते अनेन मन्त्रराजेन कृत्वा भस्माब्धे मन्त्रणं तिलकं बिभ्रयाद्यस्तु तस्य ग्रहभयं हरे त्रिवारं जपमानस्तु दत्तं वयाभिमन्त्रस्य प्रशयेद्यं नरं मन्त्रं नरसिंहध्यानमाचरे तस्य रोगप्रणश्यन्ति ये चक्षुकुक्षिसम्भव किमत्र बहुनोक्तेन नरसिंहसदृशो भवेत् मनुषा चिन्तितं यत्तु सत्तच्चाप्नोत्यसंशयं गर्जन्तं गर्जयन्तं निजभुजपदं देयान्तं तापयन्तं दिवि भुवि सततं संहरन्तं हरन्तम् ऐक्षान्तं भूरयान्तं करनिकरशते दिव्यसिंहं नमामि इति श्रीब्रह्माण्डपुराणे प्रह्लादोक्तं श्रीनरसिंहकवचं सम्पूर्णम् श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव की जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय श्री व्यास देव की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय His Holiness Swami की जय Hare Krishna.
So Hare Krishna, thank you very much, Karuna. That's so beautiful, beautifully recited, as always. And Anant Vijay, Prabhu, you like to lead? You want to share the screen again?
Yes, I would, Prabhuji.
Okay. Let me do that. And you have somebody that in mind that we want to pray.
Yes.
Yes. Just before that, yeah, you can share. Atri Rishi's father, we'd like to remember him at this time, especially because he's had now both legs amputated. So
both legs.
Both
oh,
legs.
Right.
So yeah. I can't even imagine what he is going through and what the family is going through. So we really like to pray for Lord Rishi and his protection on them.
And I'd like to mention specifically the devotees in South London will know him as Tulsi Doctor, Sugreem. And he's a person who for a long time has been looking after Tulsi Devi. He's now critically ill in hospital, multiple ailments, including dementia, but lots of ailments. He's on antibiotics drip. and such forth. So we're praying for his recovery, and we'll see what the Lord has in mind. But a very, very nice devotee all round, and obviously Atri's father as well. And there are many other devotees. So certainly, as Nabi was saying, it's not so much that these Maharajas, they're advanced Vaishnavas, you know, our prize are not so much for them. It's for, as Nabi was saying, the disciples and also for ourselves. That we can actually take their instructions seriously and also maintain our stability in spiritual life.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste
Jai, Shri Bhagwan ki jai.
Yeah.
Maharaj jai, Shri Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
I want to ask, you know, can we sing the Jai and Nilo? Is that possible to sing that bhajan now? I know we should have sung it before we talked about, but
Without the words, unless somebody knows it, and one person can lead it.
Yeah,
Without the words, hard to
we've
follow.
got the words, Prabhu. We've got the words. So they're going to be in the screen in a minute. Can you see the words?
The translation.
The translation.
Yes, the translation is an amazing translation. Let me just see if we can get it up properly. Uddhav Prabhu, can you read the translation?
Sure, Prabhuji. He who brought the treasure of divine love and who was filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personality as Advaita Acharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? And where is Krishna Das Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all these devotees in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottama Das simply weeps.
This is an incredible bhajan, and he's specifically focused on Lord Chaitanya and the six Goswamis, and he's asking, where is Sanatan? So today is actually an amazing day to sing this bhajan, actually feel something of some sort of separation from these